Have you ever kept a huge secret from your best friend?
Oh, yeah, that's tough. Why do you ask?
Today, we're talking about love, friendship, and big decisions. What happens when feelings change everything?
Ooh, I like this topic. Let's go.
So I want to tell you about Jack and Julia. They've been best friends for years, right?
Yeah, okay. What's their story?
Well, one day, Julia seems different. Jack notices and asks what's going on.
Is something wrong with her?
Julia says she's been thinking a lot. Her parents have been talking about arranging her marriage.
Oh, wow, that's a big thing. What does Julia think about that?
She actually agrees with them. She believes arranged marriages are more practical and stable.
Interesting. But Jack doesn't think the same way, right?
Exactly right. Jack believes in love marriages. He thinks you should know and love your person.
That makes sense. What does Julia say to that?
She worries that love can fade. She thinks arranged marriages have family support and stability. True, but what about the passion?
Jack says love is the foundation of everything. Without it, what's the point?
He has a good point there.
Julia mentions that her parents had an arranged marriage. They're very happy together now.
Oh, so she has a good example. That's helpful for her.
Yes, but Jack asks if there's something special about choosing your own partner, someone you feel deeply connected to.
Yeah, that's different. You can't plan that feeling.
Exactly. But Julia worries. What if you fall out of love in a love marriage?
What if things don't work out? That's scary.
Jack says that can happen in any marriage. The key is commitment and understanding.
So love gives you a reason to keep fighting?
That's exactly what he says. Love makes you want to fight for the relationship.
Okay, but what about uncertainty? Julia sounds worried.
She is. She says in arranged marriages, at least your family supports you. There's security.
But Jack wants her to have passion too, right? Yes. He asks, don't you want to marry someone you can't imagine living without?
Wow, that's romantic. What does Julia say?
She says, of course she wants that. But can anyone promise that kind of love lasts forever?
That's fair. Nothing is forever in life.
Right. But Jack asks, isn't it worth taking a chance on love instead of settling?
But Julia's scared. What if the person doesn't love her back?
She's worried about heartbreak. But Jack says that's a risk everyone takes.
Is it worth it, though?
He says yes, because real happiness comes from following your heart.
That's beautiful, but Julia still sounds unsure.
She is. She worries, what if people change after marriage? What if they're different?
Oh, that's real. People do change.
Jack says people change in any marriage, love or arranged. The key is growing together.
That makes sense. Keep the love alive, you know?
Exactly. But Julia still says it sounds simple, but it's complicated and scary. It really is scary. Big decisions are hard.
Jack says life is scary, but love makes it worth it. Julia says maybe he's right.
So she's thinking about it more?
She is, but she still feels more comfortable with arranged marriage. Jack respects her beliefs.
Good. That's important. Everyone is different.
He tells her to make sure it's what she truly wants, not just what her parents want.
That's good advice. It has to be her choice.
Julia agrees. Then something big happens. Julia thanks Jack for understanding.
Uh-oh, I feel something coming. What happens next?
Jack says there's something he's been meaning to tell her. Julia asks what it is.
Oh no, here we go.
Jack says he's been in love with Julia for a long time.
Wow, that's huge. What does Julia say?
She's shocked. She didn't know. Jack explains he was afraid she didn't feel the same.
That makes sense. He was scared of losing her friendship. Right. He was also afraid of making things awkward between them.
Oh man, that's tough. So what does Julia do?
Julia is confused. She says this changes everything. She's always seen Jack as just a best friend.
Oh wow, so she doesn't feel the same way immediately?
Not at first. She says it's a lot to process. She needs time to think.
That's fair. This is big news for her.
Jack tells her he understands. He doesn't want to pressure her. He just needed her to know.
That's respectful. What does Julia do then?
She's torn now. She always thought she'd let her parents choose for her.
But now Jack's confession changed everything.
Yes. She asks why he didn't tell her sooner. Jack explains again. His fears were real.
That makes sense. Fear stops us from telling people things.
Julia asks, so what do we do now? Jack says they talk and figure it out together.
Good answer. They need to communicate.
Jack says no matter what happens, he wants Julia to be happy. That's true love right there.
Julia says she cares about him too, but she needs time to think about this.
She needs space to figure out her feelings?
Yes, Jack agrees. He says he'll be here for her no matter what.
That's beautiful. So what happens next?
Julia goes home and talks to her parents. She says there's something important she needs to discuss.
Oh, this is big. What does she tell them?
She says she understands they want to arrange her marriage, but she has feelings for someone.
They ask who it is, right?
Her dad asks directly. Julia says it's Jack, her best friend for years.
Oh, wow. How do her parents react?
Julia's mom and dad listen. Then they say something surprising. They want her to be happy.
Really? That's great.
Yes. They say love is more important than any tradition.
So they support her? Completely. If Jack is the right person for Julia, they're with her, they support.
That's so nice. Her parents are open-minded.
Julia is so happy. She thanks them. This means everything to her.
So what's next? Does she tell Jack?
Yes, Julia calls Jack. She says she talked to her parents.
And they're okay with it?
Better than okay. They understand and support her completely.
What does that mean for them?
Julia tells Jack she wants to give them a chance. She wants to follow her heart.
Ah, that's beautiful.
Jack is so happy. He promises to always be there for her and to love her completely.
And Julia says,
She promises the same. They decide to build a life together, filled with love and understanding.
this is just the beginning?
Yes, Jack says no matter what challenges come, they'll face them together. Together always. That's a beautiful ending.
So today we learned about love, friendship, and big decisions. Sometimes your heart knows best.
Sometimes you have to take a chance on love. Thanks for sharing this story.